Dan Lowe, thank you for joining us.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Dan, you are, as Mel says, a bit of a living legend with quite an incredible career behind you. So we're going to find out a little bit more about that. What you'll realize with the podcast, so the way it works is that I'm here for the conversation and the interesting information and content that you have to impart. Mel's here for what he would call the Melly magic.
I'm just sprinkling it from the top in a clockwise.
Or as Mel would put it, he's the funny man and I'm the deadwood.
Got you.
So that's kind of how it works.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, so you're all serious, he's all party.
So when you get fed up with the shit jokes, we can have a really good chat.
Yeah, we'll start talking through the medium of dance. And then we'll come back to a serious conversation.
I can do that as well. I just don't like to do it, you know.
But I think we should start from how you and Mel first met, actually, because there's the story in that one.
Well,
how did Mel and I first meet? Well, they say 70% of communication is visual, not verbal, and so I'd say that's how we became such good friends. So it's is it the Hammersmith round? What roundabout is that roundabout, Mel?
That's Chiswick roundabout.
Chiswick roundabout, a beautiful part of town.
Actually, Dan, I'm just going to interject there, just in case people may not have heard of you and don't know what you've done in the past, but it is relevant to the story because you were an RAF fighter pilot, a Red Arrows pilot. You're also now a private pilot, coach, podcaster, writer. Quite a peppered career.
Yeah, go
but
with
you
the flow.
Met Mel on a roundabout.
So at the time I met Mel, we'll go back to the fighter pilot Red Arrow. So I'm very good with situational awareness, very good with understanding personal space, and also very comfortable being close to other machines at high speed. And then you throw Mel into the mix. So yeah, it was Chiswick roundabout. I think it was. I think I wasn't in the best of moods. I think, unfortunately, I had a partner in the car at the time and we weren't too happy. We'd driven for a couple of hours back to London and Mel was just, well, I mean, you're a happy guy, so I don't know what happened that particular day. But Mel had got very confused with the road signs versus the lanes in which you're supposed to be on. And for those who know the Chiswick roundabout, as you come up southbound off it for Kew Bridge, there is, was it a 2-into-1 lane? Is it, Mel? I think it's just a one lane.
He doesn't know it.
No, I think it's a one lane that was redesigned that day by you, 2-into-1, and there we go. And so that was the first time we met, mainly through looking at each other through the V sign. And I think, Mel, you were saying, I couldn't work it out because the windows were closed. It looked like I love you, but I think it was, you look very angry in your eyes at the time.
Did he chase you down, Dan? Because he often does that.
Well, we had that awkward moment where it was like pure road rage, where I think we wanted to get out of the car and drag each other across the bonnet. And then we got, like, it'd be all right because, you know, you kind of beat your chest and you think, well, the traffic will move on. And then the traffic didn't move on, which was really awkward. And then we were next to each other and we did that thing where we just stared out the front of the car. So I was really hard 30 seconds ago and now I really wish I wasn't here. That kind of Anyway, we followed each other the whole way, I think, until we went all the way through to, it was about Mortlake. And so if anyone knows that stretch of road, it's only about 2 miles, but it moves at about 2 miles an hour. So it was a really awkward hour. And then as he turned away, I was like, actually, because of a mutual friend that I went to school with, Burnsy, you know, give him a shout out. We all know Burnsy. I was like, I think that was Mel. Yeah, that's really awkward because he's in a circle of friends and I want to be his friend. So that was it. So I think I reached out then on Instagram and said, hey, sorry, mate, I was the dude who was in the right lane. But you know, next time, you were obviously very stressed. You obviously had somewhere to be. Next time I'll have a bit more empathy and let you in. And that was it. And so we kind of messaged on Instagram, trained together down at your gym, which is awesome. And I'd like to say became really good friends out the back of it. But, you know, it was an aggressive start. But I've got a feeling you've got quite a few friendships that have probably started with some type of aggressive impact that turns into a blossoming relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, all is forgiven. You know, obviously you cut me up, but that's fine. You know.
And that's the other thing with Mel. You know, he drops things quickly, which is great. He doesn't. And
Although not often in a road rage situation, I got to say, Dan, I think you got off quite lightly, because I have known Mel on a road bike chase cars down and not stop until he's got there to beat their bonnet or something.
Well,
Pull off their wing mirror.
Well, that's the problem with everyone on the roads. They're really bad at driving, and we're just lucky that Mel's out there.
I know.
to keep everybody on the straight and narrow. Thank you. I don't get paid for that. It's not my job, but I do it anyway.